Now we shall do our first problem regarding the direct construction of isometric projection of a solid. If you remember, we have constructed this last isometric projection of a cube using a series of steps. That is, we started from, in problem 4.1, we started from diagram number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and only at diagram number 6 we got the isometric projection of a cube. So now what we are going to discuss now is how to draw this isometric projection, that is diagram number 6, directly in a single step. We shall read the question. Draw the isometric projection of a cube of 50 mm edge length resting on HP on one of its faces. One of the base edges is parallel to VP. So here we are having a cube which is having an edge length of 50 mm. It is resting on the horizontal plane on one of its faces. So we can call that face as a base because this is a cube. And one of the base edges is parallel to VP. So I have drawn a simple top view and a simple front view such that one of the base edge. So one of the base edge we shall take A1, B1. This base edge is parallel to VP. So we have got a simple front view and a simple top view. So this is the first step in order to draw the isometric projection of a cube. So whatever may be the solid, in order to draw an isometric projection of any solid, invariably we have to start usually with a simple front view and a simple top view. So I have drawn it. In some rare cases, or when you are having some experience in constructing the isometric projection of various solid, after some problems we may be able to draw the isometric projection directly even without drawing this simple front view and simple top view. So as it is an isometric projection, as I have mentioned earlier, this isometric scale is a must. After drawing the simple front view and simple top view, you have to draw the isometric scale. After drawing the isometric scale, we have to draw the isometric projection. So here I have marked some dimensions here. So this is 50 mm, this is 50 mm, and I have included some axis also here. So here, this is the x direction, this is the y direction, and along this z is the height direction. So in the front view only you can see the dimensions in the z direction, whereas in the top view you can see the dimensions in the x direction, dimension in the y direction also. In the front view you can see dimension in the z direction, and dimension in the x direction is also visible in the front view, but dimension in the y direction is not visible in the front view. So the very first step in order to draw the isometric projection of a cube is to draw a reference line. So here we have started a simple top view and a simple front view after drawing an XY line. So here the XY line stands as an reference line in order to construct this simple front view and this simple top view. So now what we have to do is we have to draw a reference line. It is not an XY line, but it is similar to an XY line. So somewhere here we shall draw a thin line. So this is known as a base line. So after drawing the base line, the next step is you have to choose an origin for starting the isometric projection. So if you refer this diagram, the problem in 4.1, here this point is known as the origin of the isometric drawing. So from this origin we have got an edge to the right hand side and we have got an edge to the left hand side. So this is the isometric projection of a cube, and these two edges are inclined at an angle of 30 degree to the XY line, and all these edges of this cube, they are having an equal length reduction, and that length reduction we have already calculated. It is 0.82 times the true length. So if the actual dimension was 50, the isometric length will be 50 into 0.82, which is 41. So you have to remember this diagram, you have to keep in mind this diagram for the construction of the isometric projection. So we shall take an origin here. So which point is to be taken as the origin? In some questions it will be specifically mentioned, you have to take this particular point as the origin. Okay, but here as nothing is mentioned, we shall take a point from the front view which is visible along the base. Once again, we shall take a point from the front view which is visible along the base. So along the base, the visible points are D1 dash and C1 dash, or in effect it is D1 and C1. So these two are the visible points in the front view. Out of D1 and C1, we shall take D1 as the origin for the time being. So we shall take D1 as the origin of this isometric drawing. So we shall mark a point here and we shall mark it as D1. In isometric drawings, all the letters are capital letters. It is just to differentiate between orthographic projection and isometric projection. In isometric projection, usually we will be using capital letters. So after taking the origin, the next step is draw two 30-degree lines to the right hand side and left hand side using thin lines. So we shall draw two 30-degree lines to the right and left using thin lines. So use your protractor, mark 30 degrees to either sides. Draw two thin lines from D1 to this side and D1 to this side. Now, this is point D1 in the top view. To the right hand side of D1, it is the x direction. We have got point C1 along the base. And in this direction along the base, we have got point A1. So in y direction, it is point A1 along the base. And in z direction, it is point C1 along the base. So we shall mark points C1 and A1 along these two lines, which are inclined at an angle of 30 degrees. So what will be the length of D1 C1 and what will be the length of D1 A1? It will be 50 into 0.82, which is 41. So we shall take a measurement of 41 to the right hand side and 41 to the left hand side in order to locate point C1 on the right hand side and point A1 on the left hand side along the base. So take a measurement of 41 and mark a point here. We shall mark this point as point C1. Again on the left hand side, take 41 mm and mark point A1. So along the base we got A1, D1 and C1. We are missing one point, that point is B1. So we have to locate B1. So how to locate B1? In order to mark point B1 along the base, we can take the help of the compass. So you take 41 in compass, 41 mm in compass. And from point C1 you cut an arc here using thin lines, and from point A1 also you cut another arc here. So the meeting point of these two arcs will be giving you point B1. Now you shall join A1, B1 and B1, C1 using thin lines. You can call this as the base plane. So this is the isometric projection of a square lamina, or this is the isometric projection of a square, which is similar to that of a rhombus. Now we shall take the vertical height. So this is A1, B1, C1, D1. The height of the cube is 50 mm. As it is an isometric projection that we are going to do here, in isometric projection, each and every length will be having a reduction of 0.82 times the true length. So vertically the height will be 50 into 0.82, which is again equal to 41. So if you notice in this diagram, all the vertical edges or all the lateral edges, that is A1, B1, C1 and D1, they are still vertical here, that is D1, A1, B1 and C1. All these are vertical edges in this diagram also. So it is having an inclination, it is having an angle of 90 degree with respect to the XY line. So the next step is from point A1, B1, C1 and D1, you draw thin lines vertically upwards, that is 90 degree with respect to the baseline and at a measurement of 41. So first draw some vertical lines. What you have to make sure is, as this is a cube, the projector through D1 and B1 will be passing through a single line. Now we shall take 41 mm from A1 along this line, D1 along this line, B1 along this line, and C1 along this line. You have to mark 41 mm each. So this point will be point A. This point will be point B. This will be point C. And from D1, if you notice, when you are taking 41 mm from point D1, it is coinciding with this point B1. So this point itself will be point D. Now you got 8 points or 8 corners A, B, C, D, A1, B1, C1, D1. After getting 8 points in the isometric projection, the next step is draw the outline. So this is something that is similar to the projection of solids. So we shall start it from the extreme left, which is AA1. So we shall draw the outline which is connecting all these points using thick lines. After drawing the outline using thick lines in the problems regarding the projection of solids, usually the next step in projection of solids is to identify invisible corners, and thereafter we will be finding out invisible edges from this invisible corner. So we have got a procedure that is somewhat similar to that procedure which is in the projection of solid. So here we don't have a connection between C and D and D and A. We shall connect it using thin lines initially. So AD using thin lines and DC also using thin lines. So we have drawn the outline using thick lines, then we have just connected the lines connecting AB, BC, CD, DA. Then we have got AA1, BB1, DD1. So all those lines are here, but all the lines we have not done it with type A lines. So what is the next procedure? So I hope you remember this previous problem in which we have identified 3 planes. This is known as top isometric plane, this is left isometric plane, and this is right isometric plane. All the points along the boundaries of this isometric planes, that is top isometric plane, left isometric plane, and right isometric plane, they will be visible. So if you take this top isometric plane, this whole edges will be visible. If you take this left isometric plane, these whole edges will be visible. If you take right isometric plane, these edges will be completely visible. So all these points or all these edges will be visible. So we shall darken all these edges which are corresponding to top isometric plane, left isometric plane, and right isometric plane. So first we shall darken the top isometric plane. Top isometric plane is AB, BC, CD, and DA. So this is the top isometric plane. Now we shall darken the left isometric plane. Left isometric plane is A, D, D, D1, D1, A1, and AA1. Out of which AA1, AD, A1, D already it is darkened using type A lines. Now we shall darken DD1. Now we shall darken the right isometric. Already we have darkened DD1. So DD1 is a part of the right isometric plane. So this forms the visible edges and visible outlines of this isometric projection. Now we had to find out invisible edges and invisible outlines of this isometric projection. So as I have mentioned earlier, all the points and the edges along the top isometric plane, left isometric plane, and right isometric plane will be visible. So all the points along this out boundary, all the points along this boundary, and all the points along this boundary, they are visible. So here if you consider A, B, C, D, A, it is completely visible. A1, A1, D1, D1, D, and DA is visible. DC, C, C1, C1, D1, and D1, D is also visible. The only point that is not coming in these three planes, that is top isometric plane, left isometric and right isometric plane, is point B1. So point B1 is not along these three planes, and this point will be invisible here. So you write it in brackets. So if you have got an invisible point or an invisible corner, usually from this invisible corner you will be having three invisible edges. So which are those invisible edges that are starting from point B1? In order to recognize or in order to find out the invisible edges that are starting from point B1, we shall refer the previous topic. So this is point B1. So from B1 we have got B1. So this is B1. This line will be a dashed thick line because it is invisible. Then B1C1. B1C1 is along the base. So B1C1 will be invisible. And again B1A1. B1A1 is also along the base. B1A1 also will be visible. So B1B, B1C, B1A1, these three lines or edges will be invisible, and we have to represent it using dash thick lines. So we have drawn the complete isometric projection. Now we have to dimension this diagram. So when you are doing the dimensioning process, it is somewhat similar to the dimensioning of the orthographic projection, but we are having some small differences. In this case, you are considering this point as the origin, that is point D1. You consider these three lines, D1C1, D1A1 and D1D. So when you are drawing dimension lines and projection lines, all those dimension lines and projection lines must be either parallel to any one of these three lines, that is D1C1, D1A1 and D1D. So first we shall mark the dimension of this AA1. So we know that the dimension of AA1 is 50 into 0.82, which is 41. But we won't be marking here the dimension as 41 because this is an isometric projection. In isometric projection, we will be marking the actual dimension of the solid. The actual dimension of the solid is 50 mm. So we will be marking here it as 50 mm. But when you see the isometric scale onto the top side or onto the left hand side of this isometric projection, it is understood that even though if you are marking here 50 mm, it is equal to 50 into 0.82. So AA1, you are going to mark the distance of AA1. So here already we are having a projection line. So from AA1, I am just moving my roller scale up to AD. Another thin line. So this line and this line, they are parallel to each other. This is DD1. We shall slide our roller scale from this line up to these two projectors, and we shall draw a broken dimension line here. So to the middle we have to leave some space, and we shall draw two arrowheads. So this dimension is, we will be marking here it as 50. We know that this is not exactly equal to 50, this is 50 into 0.82, but as we have drawn the isometric scale here, it is understood that this dimension is equal to 50 into 0.82. In isometric projection, we will be marking the actual dimension, we won't be marking the reduced dimension, which is 50 into 0.82. So this height is 50, and we shall mark this side. The measurement A1D1, this is also equal to 41, but we will be marking here it as 50. So how to mark it? So here this is DD1. From this you draw a line, thin line, and you slide your roller scale up to this point. This is, so these two lines are parallel to DD1. Now you can draw a dimension line here. So it must be parallel to AD1. So keep your roller scale here, slide it up to this length. You draw a broken dimension line again. Mark two arrowheads. So this dimension is again 50 mm. So even though we are marking it as 50, we must recognize that it is actually equal to 50 into 0.82. And we shall mark two angles here. This is 30 degree and this is also 30 degree. Now the last step is you have to indicate the direction in which this isometric projection is to be viewed in order to get the front view. So if you notice this front view, the face in the front side of this cube, it is D1, D1 C1, C1 C and CD. So this is the front face. Then the name of the front face is D1, D1 C1, C1 C and CD. So where is this front face located in this isometric projection? It is on the right hand side. You can see it as D1, D1 C1, C1 C and CD. So this is the front face. So in order to get the front face of this solid, which is a cube, we have to visualize the isometric projection in this direction. So this is the direction in which we have to view this solid in order to get the front face. So in order to indicate that, we'll be marking another arrowhead here. So parallel to A1 D1, you just slide your roller scale up to this position. You mark an arrowhead here and write here it as front view, in short form FV. So this completes the construction of the isometric projection of a cube. So we shall have a quick review of the problem. The very first step is drawing the simple front view and simple top view of the given cube. Mark the dimension, mark the various points. Next step is draw the isometric scale, because it is a problem involving isometric projection. Then the next step is you have to draw a baseline. Next one is mark the origin. Then draw two 30-degree lines to the right hand side and left hand side. Next step is taking 50 into 0.82, which is 41 on the right hand side and 41 on the left hand side, and mark points C1 and A1 respectively. Then we have to find out point B1. So in order to find point B1, we will be using compass. We will be taking 41 mm in compass and we will be cutting an arc from this side and from this side, and the meeting point will be giving you point B1. So after getting this base, which is A1, B1, C1, D1 and D1A1, we will be drawing the lateral edges or the vertical edges, which are AA1, BB1, CC1 and DD1. From each of these points A1, B1, C1, D1, we will be drawing some vertical lines. Then along these vertical lines we will be marking 41, 41, 41 and 41, and especially when you take 41 from D1, it will be coinciding at this particular point. After getting the various points A, B, C, D, we have got around some 8 points here in the isometric projection. Then we will be doing a procedure that is similar to the projection of solids. We will be drawing the outline using thick lines. After drawing the outlines using thick lines, the next step is we have to find out the visible edges here. So all the edges which are on the top isometric plane, left isometric plane and right isometric plane will be visible. So we have to draw it using thick lines. So we have drawn thick lines along the top isometric plane, left isometric plane and right isometric plane. So then we will be searching out for the invisible corner here. So all the points which are along the top isometric plane, left isometric plane and right isometric plane, they will be visible. So in this particular problem, the only one point that is not in the top isometric plane, left isometric plane or the right isometric plane is point B1. So B1 is invisible here. B1 is the invisible corner here. So if you are having an invisible corner, you will be having 3 invisible edges from this corner. So those edges are B1B, B1C1 and B1A1. So we have to draw it using dashed thick lines. Then we will be marking the dimensioning 30 degree, 30 degree, you have to indicate the front view direction. So in the dimensioning process, here we are not using broken dimension lines, but here we have to use broken dimension lines. And when you are drawing the projection lines and dimension lines, here what we have to take care is it must be parallel to any one of these three lines, that is D1C1, D1A1 and D1D. So all the projection lines and dimension lines must be parallel to the previously mentioned three lines. Then we have to indicate the direction in which this isometric projection is to be viewed in order to get the front view. So here in the front face of this front view is D, D1, D1C1, C1C and CD. So this front face is located on the right isometric plane here. So this is the direction in which you have to view this isometric projection in order to get the front view.